So tonight, I'm with Lili again, even though you didn't put on the what the title of this is, but we're just deciding right now, and I think the title and the subject that we go after tonight is how to exit a stage of confusion. How do we come back to ourselves when we've allowed our consciousness to be crushed, compacted and identified with everything except that which is, divinely free. So we've identified with all suffering and all limitations of consciousness and abilities. We've essentially agreed to everybody else's point of view about who we should be and what we should do. Not with everybody, we did pick sides on different themes. So when you find yourself in a position where you're questioning your life, your experience, and saying, wait, this isn't the way that it's supposed to be for me. This isn't it. This isn't what I came here for. Now, you don't know what you came here for. All you know is that you weren't supposed to come here and just be suffering in unconsciousness. So this isn't it. This isn't the whole answer. So what else is there about us that comes in and brings back our wholeness and our remembrance of the us that, is us at our best? So when we take a moment to reflect on who we've been here and who we're experiencing ourselves to be in this moment, and we notice that the more that we open up to experience whatever it is that we've created ourselves to be here, the more pain we feel, the more fear we feel. Because if you're like most people, you've gone unconscious to most of your fears and pains. And so when you bring consciousness back into the experience of you in the body, then the body has to go through a transformation process where it's being operated, is it a higher frequency? Probably. Is it a more expanded, complete consciousness? Absolutely. So you're no longer seeing yourself as separate and unique. Because the truth of you is the opposite of that. The truth of you is your wholeness, the completion. The beginning and the end, So notice that. And why do I always find a way in the end to remember and come back to my wholeness? And so do you, instinctively. We knock ourselves silly unconscious. And suffer for it. And in our suffering, we begin to take responsibility and willingly feel our suffering. You know, stop resisting it. Stop trying to drug it away. And just sit in your stillness without an agenda other than to be here and to be whole and complete. So all you're choosing to do is to notice your truth. Notice what's real. To notice when your blossoming is, and to, just be there in that light and allowing the blossom to happen. It's not something you make happen, it's something that you get to experience happening. So it's not even your job to wish for it. Because in the wishing for something that you're not experiencing, that closes all the doors to you. But if instead you take responsibility for what it feels like to be you in the body, and that's suffering, say, okay, this is what I've created so far. But it's funny how each of us always eventually goes back home, remembers their truth, sheds all the lies and the identifications and the points of view, lets go of all the traumas, because you're the eternal, but the bodies come and go. You are the eternal. So you can let the body go. The story of it, the history of it, the traumas of it. You let it go by allowing it to be, without trying to change it, with just being present and conscious with it. Quit trying to sacrifice yourself to save somebody else when you yourself are in a state of confusion and misidentification. So we're both luckily in a position where we've got some significant time that we can spend in contemplating who it is that we're experiencing ourselves to be. And are we finally ready? Are we finally ready? To open and be free. Because we're going to let ourselves. We're not going to condemn ourselves anymore. We're not going to set up punishments for bad behavior for ourselves. Because when you fall, when you get lost, when you get confused, and then you act accordingly, whereby half of the individuated consciousnesses want to make you pay with your damnation as somehow being appropriate retribution for you not being free, make you even less free. No, sister. The punishment for your sins is your remembrance of your wholeness. That's what I curse you with and bless you with at the same time. The positive and the negative, the light and the dark. Know all of that in your wholeness. The totality of each one of those is just a small part of you. So quit diminishing yourself to fables and stories, no matter how brilliantly written. Strings of words cannot condemn you, cannot be you, cannot understand you. Someone else's words can't save you. Even your own words can't save you. The only thing that can save you is that interesting moment that happens about now, where you remember, oh wow, I just woke up here. Boy, wow, what a dense reality I've been playing in, and the me that I've been here, wow, okay. What do I choose now? Well, I'm going to stay awakened like this instead of going back to deep unconsciousness. How about that? Yeah. We first make a choice to stay awakened as we awaken. That we choose it as an attribute of who we are. Instead of condemning ourselves for all of our bad behaviors, to be punished with sorrow and regret, and torment, how can all of that be exactly what it was and have you be infinitely free at the same time? Only by you opening up universally, like Jesus did, like Buddha did. Why would you want to open up to anything less than that? Allow your self-awareness, your consciousness to be universally present now. The body is just an infinitesimally small, insignificant, irrelevant aspect of who you are. This body, this story, this name, this personality is, if it were possible to be less than nothing, it would be less than nothing. And it's not quite less than nothing, but let's just say that it's not worth more than nothing either. So your punishment is to go back to nonness, to be a nun again, as in O-N, N-O-N-E. None. Is that it? I don't know.
N-U-N.
So we allow ourselves right now, you two, to feel the universe. At the same time, we feel our sorrows and traumas. Because we're feeling the universe, our individual pains and sorrows go into proper context. So allow both to be true. Your circumstantial you, your identity, your personality, to your physical body. All those contextual truths are real. And what's also real is your experiencing of yourself as being present universe-wide. And inclusive of all time, where time, again, is just a small part of you. Time can be defined, you can't.
Why?
Pardon?
Why?
Well, you can, but you're not you. This Y person still likes the story of the life more than the truth. You know, and you got some grand polarities to choose from. I mean, the very, very best and the very, very worst, it seems. You know, somehow you've got very high highs and very low lows. So you've got a full range of experience. And understanding too, because of all the experiences you've had. So let all the confusions go, you know, and in that identity of self, notice the eternal, both within you and outside of you. By you, I mean the body, the bodies, the subtle bodies. Until all bodies, again, are just such a small part of you, even when you hold them, you know, through eternity. However many of them, you know, you ever played as. All of those contexts, whatever it is that you did, you know, you did. And it's okay, because everything you did was appropriate according to the level of consciousness you were at. So there's no punishment except for opening.
I love them.
Blossoming. So, if you truly want to be punished for all of your sins, then there's nothing that cuts you like the truth. Not the truth that condemns you, but the truth that loves you unconditionally. The truth that you experience when you truly return home. You're fully back into a safe place outside of polarity, beyond competition, beyond opposition. And you take a break and recover from your excellent adventure on Earth. Because it was a deep dive into some kind of delightful depravity. I don't know, at least for me. And look at me, I've got gray hair now. And here I'm still talking about, I'm almost to the truth. I'm still singing that song and telling that story. Hey, Dave's almost got the truth. What am I talking about it for then? The only reason that I talk about it is because having somebody else to talk to like this, that's open to experiencing, the states that a body goes through as it has an experience that helps him transcend the moment. Something that just melts away the trauma. Where the trauma just gets to relax. It's no longer traumatic to be you. Why am I so happy? Why am I so joyful? Why am I so free? Why am I forgiven of everything? Why am I so healthy? Why am I so wealthy? Those questions will get you to the doorway of your next quantum leap and transformation. Why do I love my life so much? Why am I such a blessing to myself here? Why do I always figure it out in just the nick of time? But I always figure it out. Well, it makes for, what does it make for? An exciting story? Is that what we really want to experience here is, suffering from battling other people? I don't think so. I don't think that's worth continuing playing with. What makes sense is feeling exactly who and what you are in this second. Being open to experiencing exactly what that is on every level. And to open, and to continue open in a surrender to that experience. You're not going to stop yourself from experiencing your traumas, your pain and your sorrow. You're just going to master up to it. And experience your life and your trauma and your mastery. Now, it's difficult to experience in the beginning because of the complexities of how we've messed our lives up. But so long as we're surrendering, so long as we're dying to the life that we've lived, we can open up and experience, what our expanded truth is, what our wholeness is. And in our experience of that, it brings into the body clarity, cleansing, a relief, a forgiveness, actually. Feel what it happens to all the pains and sorrows and traumas that are held in this tension in your body. Just feel them. And as soon as you feel them, know that all of that is already forgiven by everybody. As soon as you feel it, everybody's forgiven it, including yourself. So there's no reason not to feel at all. Because as soon as you do, you're free of it. It no longer has the ability to control you, to knock you unconscious, to take from you your sense of self and replace it with a story and a personality. No. No, it's time for a better story of me. If I'm going to stay alive, and I'm going to be here, it's time for the hero's journey to come to a resolution, a happily ever after. The hero, triumphant. So feel those pains and sorrows and traumas and allow the triumph of wholeness, of divine truth. To be fully merged with all that, so that you can't experience one without the other. And so in that, regardless of the density, you're free. You're able to maintain your consciousness and your self-awareness and your wisdom, your understanding, your universal point of view. So just allow yourself to reharmonize with that, to resonate. So that the resonant frequency of your own body is health and vibrance and strength and surrender and power and consciousness and love and compassion, understanding. And ability and responsibility. Finally feeling it all and allowing it to be in the exact mess that you created it to be. It's okay. Everything created in unconsciousness is temporary. The closer you get to truth, the further away you get from stories. So just let all the stories go. All the rules, all the regulations, all of the commandments, all of the points of view that say it's not okay for you to be free. There's just no resonant shared frequency with that anymore for you. If somebody connects with you intentionally, then you're going to stay the way you are, which means they're going to open up and expand and resonate in a wise way with you, because you're not going to collapse into their definitions. If somebody's with you, then they're going to transcend their limitations just through osmosis. And that includes your own sense of self, your own definitions of self, all your belief systems. That's what gets to experience its freedom. All of those shared identities. That's kind of unwinding my guts and my spine.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Are you watching on TV?
No, I have it off.
Remember, nothing's a problem. It's not your job to change it. It's just your job to feel it. And if you resist it, or if you try to change it, then you're locked in a battle and things persist. But if you just simply take responsibility for your body, which means, okay, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm paying attention, which means everything that was unconscious or confusing for the previous consciousness, the personality here, is not that way anymore. So the time that you allow yourself to transcend is now. That's your to list for right now. To say, yes, it's amazing how everything just happened by itself. And I woke up. Everything just happened by itself. All I had to do was watch. You don't even have to focus. You don't have to dive down deep into another limited consciousness. Your primary relationship with anybody is their eternal divine nature. You commune with them there. And then however the personality or ego needs to receive it, they receive it. Doesn't matter. No more punishment. No more damnation. No more condemnation. No more more debts, no more obligations, other than for you to be true to yourself and to everybody else. By knowing yourself beyond all stories, beyond all belief systems, beyond all energies, beyond all understanding. There's no work in it. There's just a choice to be present in the body, beyond identity. Yeah, that's what heals your traumas. Your willingness to be present in the body beyond identity, beyond circumstantial reality. The eternal there with the circumstantial and temporary. The eternal present is the circumstantial identity. Is that what caused Buddha and Christ to awaken? Seems like it could have. Could have been that, but it might have been something else. And regardless if we're speculating about it, we're not noticing it for ourselves, and that should be the first thing. Instead of admitting that we're lost and fallen and out to lunch, as soon as we know that, it's not for us to make a party with people about, being stuck. Your job is to open back up by letting go of letting go of the primacy of the circumstance to define you. So much so that you're experiencing the universe or eternity is not even part of your reality. So don't defend your reality. Don't defend your rightness. Because you know how realized you're not. So you don't want to fight someone from that position of you knowing how far away you are from your truth. Your purpose in each moment is to let everything go about this moment that holds you back so that you can open and embrace more. Everything will find its way. You don't have to micromanage life. I hope that's true. Depends on how far you open. How much you allow yourself to be saved by your wholeness, by your noticing and experiencing your completion, by your remembering your eternal nature, and who you are that moves from life to life and galaxy to galaxy and whatever all that is, but you might as well know it in your body. So yes, isn't it interesting that you're now knowing that in your body? In your body, you're noticing your truth. In your body, you're opening to your truth. In your body, you're resonating in a universal and eternal frequency. And why not? Why not allow yourself to be free here? Why not allow everyone to be free here? Hmm. Hmm. Well, I kind of got lost in thought,
Mhm.
thinking about how to handle things that I need to do. But
Mm.
but let's just open more so that we can let go of the density of that.
I like that.
Let go of our incompetence
Mm.
in dealing with it appropriately. Okay, so now let's notice that we're beginning to move in our wisdom. Yeah. There's a new way of being here. Where we're not being tossed to and fro. Where our primary experience is noticing our wholeness in each moment. And that kind of essentially sanctifies, everything that we do here. Helps us move, consciously, gracefully, gratefully, generously, lovingly, so yeah, let's let the rest of that trauma go so that why am I opening to so much joy right now? Ask yourself that. Why am I opening to so much joy? Why am I opening to so much truth? Why am I opening to so much healing? Why am I opening to this universal wisdom as being how I experience myself now? Why am I so healthy? Why am I so wealthy? Why am I so free? Why is it so easy for me to awaken and be free? Ask yourself those questions and let the answers transform you. Why do I love my life so much? Why am I so happy with myself right now? We have to ask ourselves the positive questions, Lily. We got in the habit of asking for answers to the negative. That's what trapped us. Because that's what got our attention. That's what we created. So why are we moving in our wisdom now? And see, all of the reasons why that's happening have to move through all of your traumas and all of your tension and all of your limitations into your sense of self. Because you're open. And you're willing to receive that and have that transformation. So when you ask and you open and you receive, then nothing can oppose that, because you asked, you stayed open, and you willingly received and allowed your own transformation. And basically, it's as easy as that. Just let it be. If you stop fighting it or helping it, it will wake up and be free. You're divorcing yourself from competition. You're divorcing yourself from opposition. You're divorcing yourself from judgment. You're divorcing yourself from condemnation. From regret. Why are we opening so beautifully right now? So easily. Why are we opening so joyfully? Why are we beginning to feel so radiant? Because that's how it becomes real to you. You ask why it's that way, and you begin to experience it. We've all had enough experience to know what freedom feels like. So let go of everything in you that's not free. Take responsibility for your massive screw-ups that resulted you being in trauma. Quit trying to fix your mess or clean your room. Just admit that you did it. And relax about it. Of course you did it. Quit judging yourself. Just because you take responsibility for it doesn't mean you're judging yourself for it. That way you can continue in that opening, into greater freedom for yourself. Instead of forever going from one limitation to another. Yeah, don't try to do anything other than be present. It's not your job to figure out what the complexity of the creation is and how to carefully unravel it. It's not your job to change what is into what it could possibly be. Your job is simply to be present here. And allow your body to get real comfortable with the fact that you're here and you're here to stay and you love it. So why? Why do I love it here? What do I love about my life? Why do I love that? Why else do I love my life here? Why am I enjoying my freedom now? Why is it that I'm so easily beginning to blossom now? Why do I enjoy this so much? Why do I enjoy this process of awakening, this surprised awakening, this I thought I was only this and now I woke up to the truth again. Why did I wake up to the truth again? Why did I open into my freedom again? Why did I say yes to my truth? Why did I say yes to opening into feeling love as fundamental about me? Any questions or comments?
Wow, I feel so free. Mm. Mm. I'm like flying. Mm.
Well,
Mm.
and why is it so easy for us now to be free?
Mm. Thank God.
Why is it so easy for ourselves now to forgive ourselves? Why was it so easy to forgive ourselves? Why was it so easy for us to awaken? Why is it so easy for us to be lovingly free? The more of those why questions of your abilities, the more your abilities are manifest. Why do I love my life so much? Why do I enjoy my life so much now? Why do I just keep getting better looking each day? Why am I finally willing to be free? Finally willing to know. Finally willing to be present. Finally willing to be here as a joyful, flowing grace. I'm not saying that you are that. I'm just saying that you're open into that experience of yourself, and the universe is already adjusting itself, for that to be your experience. As soon as you open to things being different for you, the universe is in complete synchronicity with that. So why is it that the universe follows us so excellently? And why are we making such good decisions now? Why are our pains and traumas just dissolving out of us effortlessly? Hmm. Why is it so easy for us to stay awakened and all of these various states of consciousness, the different groups that we interact with, stay at? Why are we so free from group consciousness that limits their members? Yet we can interact with them and be unaffected. Why is that? Why are we now undiminished when we're dealing with other people who think less than divinely of us? Why is it that we've finally opened divinely to ourselves? Hmm. 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 Okay. Why is it that we're now awakened about what we eat? Why is it, even though we might eat something that we used to consider unhealthy, why is it that it doesn't matter what we eat? Why are we so conscious that it doesn't matter what we eat? All of it is beautiful energy for the body. Because anything that was in it that was not in harmony with blessing us, all of that just transmuted away. So why are we now able to divinely open and experience? Our previous limitations in such a way that we're free from them. They no longer affect us anymore. Why are we so happy to be here now? Why are we feeling so good about our life and our body now? nice vibrations beginning to move through this now. It's like there's a small group consciousness that's now saying yes to freedom. Who are our allies in freedom? Why is it so easy to find them now? To notice them, to recognize them. Why is it so easy for us to see our brothers and sisters divinely now? Why are we now finally beginning to feel lightness? Why are we now feeling the free flow? Why are we now enjoying our transformation? So when I'm silent, I'm feeling whatever areas of the body are asking for my attention, and feeling that and letting it go. And why that seems to be the simplest and easiest way to open and awaken. It is pretty simple. All you have to do is notice that it's happening. You don't have to put any energy on it. You don't have to put any attention on it. Intention. All you have to do is notice it and be present with it. Notice that everybody's awakening to love. Why is that? Why is everybody opening into their own awakening? Why is it everybody's forgiving themselves? Why is it that they're forgiving everyone else too? Why is it you're forgiving all of the energies and intentions and emotions that others had towards you? Why is it so easy for you to be healed from that? Why is it that you're able to open up universally and eternally to each person you interact with here now? Why are you able to so easily synchronize with someone in an optimum way for the both of you? Why is it that other people just sort of naturally awaken to their truth when they're with you? Why is it that your heart's now open? Why is it that your heart's now free? Why is it that your heart's now loving you unconditionally? Why is it that holiness is now something that you can experience and are experiencing? Why is that? Why are you experiencing holiness right now? Wholesomeness, wholeness. Why is it that holiness is natural for you? Hmm. Those are some nice questions to ask and experience the answer. So I think we're good. Right? We're right at an hour and 20 minutes. And I haven't been saying much in the last 20 minutes anyway. So, but I have been kind of demonstrating the experience of opening, of questioning and opening and receiving. So anyone that ever watches this, that's the point. Is if you know you're not awakened, then as you notice that you're not awakened, why is it that you notice that you are? You're awakened in your experience of experiencing not awakened. So those two merge together. The awakened and the not awakened. Sharing the same space, the same body, the same reality. Now what happens? Why is it so similar to, a flower blossoming in the sun, where it's not working at it, it's just experiencing it as itself. The blossoming, the awakening. It's only there to experience it, not to cause it. So whatever it is that you are, experience that. Hmm. Why is it so easy for us now to walk through the valley of death, so to speak? Why is the tension melting away out of my neck and my muscles? Okay, Lily, you still awake?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Well, I think we're good.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much. I'm just feeling that I'm very happier and happier.
Yeah, why are we so happy? I don't get it. Good night.
Have a good night, you too. Thank you so much.
Sure.